Master Your Mind, Master Your Life. Written and published by Sonic Tome. What if the key to unlocking your fullest potential has been sitting quietly inside you all along, waiting to be unleashed? Every decision, every belief, every emotion you experience has been shaping your reality, often without your awareness. Most of us go through life reacting to circumstances, to the expectations of others, to the things we fear and desire. But what if you could shift that dynamic? What if you could consciously direct your energy, your thoughts, and your actions in a way that not only propels you forward, but redefines what's possible for you? This isn't about waiting for the perfect moment, the right opportunity, or a stroke of luck. It's about recognizing that the power to create change is not something external. It's within you, right here, right now. You are the architect of your own life, capable of shaping every aspect of your experience. The path to personal growth is not a distant dream, nor is it a matter of talent or circumstance. It's a conscious process, a series of intentional steps that align your mind, heart, and actions. You have the ability to transform your struggles into strengths, your weaknesses into opportunities, and your doubts into confidence. But how do you make this transformation happen? How do you break free from the invisible chains that have kept you confined, trapped in patterns that no longer serve you? How do you turn moments of failure into fuel for progress? The answer lies not in a distant goal, but in the everyday choices you make. It's in the way you respond to challenges, the way you approach growth, and most importantly, the way you understand yourself. Imagine a life where your thoughts no longer limit your actions, where your emotions are not a force to be controlled, but an ally guiding you toward the life you desire. Imagine waking up each day knowing that the potential to achieve, to grow, and to create is already within your grasp. It's not a matter of waiting for things to change. It's about stepping into the power of your own mind, tuning into the possibilities within you, and choosing to move forward with intention and passion. The journey ahead isn't a passive one. It's not a road paved with empty promises or quick fixes. It's a deep, transformative process of self-discovery, one that requires commitment, awareness, and the willingness to confront the beliefs and habits that no longer serve your highest good. But it is also a path full of possibility, a path that can lead you to the life you've always known you were capable of, but perhaps never fully believed you could have. This isn't just about dreaming big. It's about waking up to the life you were meant to live. It's about understanding the immense power within you to shape your future. It's time to stop merely existing and start creating with intention. Your journey to breaking free, to living with purpose and passion, starts now. Chapter 1. The Power Within You. At the core of every individual lies an incredible well of untapped power, a strength that, when fully realized, has the ability to transform your world. This power isn't something that exists outside of you. It's woven into the very fabric of your being, just waiting for you to recognize it. Most of us go through life unaware of this potential, relying on external factors to shape our sense of self-worth, success, and happiness. Yet all the while, the true source of your power is within you. It always has been. The mind is a tool, but it is more than just a tool. It is the engine that drives your every experience. The thoughts you entertain, the emotions you feel, and the actions you take are all a direct reflection of how you engage with this internal force. When you begin to understand the immense power of your own mind, you realize that the circumstances around you are merely the effects, not the causes. The mind doesn't just react to the world. It creates the world you live in. This journey of unlocking your power is not about waiting for a moment of inspiration to strike, but about becoming aware of the limitless possibilities that already exist within your own thought patterns. It's about waking up from the trance of ordinary thinking and stepping into a higher state of awareness where every action, every word, and every choice reflects the belief in your own potential. The mind operates on a level far beyond simple logic or reasoning. It is deeply influenced by the beliefs, assumptions, and filters you hold about the world. These filters shape everything you experience, from the way you interact with others to the way you view yourself. Imagine your mind as a canvas. The beliefs you hold are the paints, and the actions you take are the brushstrokes. The picture you create is the life you lead. When you begin to consciously shape your beliefs, not just through affirmations or positive thinking, but by aligning them with the true potential you hold, you start to tap into a force that is beyond mere thought. It's the power of intention, the power to create, to manifest, to change the course of your life. This isn't about controlling every little aspect of life or trying to force things to happen. It's about aligning with a deeper, more powerful truth about who you are. The world around you responds to your energy. Your thoughts create vibrations that ripple through your environment, affecting everything from the opportunities you encounter to the relationships you nurture. When your mind is aligned with purpose and clarity, the world begins to mirror that. The key to unlocking this potential lies in your ability to embrace this truth fully, that you are the creator of your reality. Not in the sense that you can control every event, but in how you respond to what happens. Your response shapes the trajectory of your life. It's important to understand that this power doesn't require perfection. Far from it, it requires awareness. The awareness to notice your thoughts, to catch yourself in moments of doubt, and to shift your thinking in a way that serves you. It's a constant practice of returning to your power, of stepping back into alignment when you've drifted away. It's in the quiet moments, the small decisions, and the subtle shifts in perspective that you will find the deepest wells of your potential. When you acknowledge the power within you, you begin to see opportunities in places you once saw only obstacles. The same challenges that once seemed insurmountable become the very things that propel you forward. The power within you doesn't eliminate difficulty or struggle. It transforms how you perceive and handle them. What once felt like adversity becomes a catalyst for growth, a lesson in disguise that pushes you toward higher levels of self-awareness. This power also doesn't come from a place of ego or self-centeredness. It is rooted in understanding that your true strength lies in your ability to connect with something greater than yourself. When you move beyond your own limited perspective and tap into the vast potential that exists within every human being, you open the door to the infinite. You realize that the power you possess is not just for your own gain, but for the benefit of everyone around you. It's through this expanded awareness that you can truly begin to see how interconnected we all are. Tapping into the power within you isn't about forcing or striving. It's about alignment. It's about getting in sync with the natural flow of life and understanding that your mind, when used in its highest capacity, is a tool of creation. When you harness this understanding, your life becomes a reflection of your deepest desires, values, and vision. The key is to stay open, to remain aware, and to trust in your ability to create the life you've always imagined. Chapter 2. Crafting Your Mental Blueprint. Your mind is a masterpiece in the making, a complex structure of thoughts, beliefs, and experiences that define the life you lead. Just as an architect designs a blueprint before bringing a building to life, so too does your mind create the blueprint for your reality. This mental framework is far more powerful than any set of plans drawn on paper. It shapes your thoughts, drives your actions, and ultimately determines the world you experience. To change your life, you must first redesign your mental architecture, laying down a foundation of thoughts that align with your true potential. Most people go through life unknowingly, living out the blueprint they inherited from others, from their upbringing, society, or the people they surrounded themselves with. These pre-existing patterns often hold us back, trapping us in cycles of negative thinking, limiting beliefs, and old habits that no longer serve us. The first step toward crafting a new mental blueprint is to recognize that the power to change, to design a life by your own choosing, lies entirely in your hands. You are the architect, the builder, and the creator. The mind doesn't work on autopilot. It's constantly evolving, constantly forming new connections, adapting to the environment, and responding to internal and external stimuli. This dynamic nature means you have the ability to redesign your mental framework at any time. However, the process is far from passive. It requires deliberate intention, focus, and a commitment to shifting the way you perceive and interact with the world. It's about being aware of the thought patterns you engage in and consciously choosing the ones that align with your highest vision of yourself. This mental redesign isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing process of recalibrating the foundation from which you operate. Every thought you entertain lays another brick in the foundation of your mental structure. If those thoughts are aligned with your goals, your purpose, and your values, the blueprint you are building is one of empowerment, growth, and possibility. But if your thoughts are filled with doubt, fear, and limitation, your mental foundation will be weak, fragile, and prone to collapse when faced with challenges. To craft a new mental blueprint, you must first begin by clearing out the old, outdated beliefs that no longer serve you. These are the thoughts that keep you stuck in patterns of mediocrity, the ones that tell you this is all there is, or you're not capable of more. They are often deeply ingrained, the result of years of conditioning, but they are not permanent unless you allow them to be. Begin by questioning these thoughts. Ask yourself, is this belief based on truth, or is it simply something I've been taught to accept? As you begin to dismantle these limiting beliefs, you start to create space for new, more empowering ones to take root. It's not enough to just eliminate the negative thoughts. You must replace them with beliefs that support the life you want to create. This is where the true crafting begins. Visualize the life you want to lead, the person you want to become, and the impact you want to have. See it clearly in your mind, feel the emotions associated with that life, and let that vision become the cornerstone of your new mental blueprint. But vision alone is not enough. A blueprint needs structure. Your mental structure will be built on small, consistent actions, habits, and practices that align with your vision. Your daily thoughts and behaviors form the materials that create the mental walls, windows, and doors that make up your life's experience. The more you reinforce your new mental framework with positive, constructive habits, the stronger and more resilient it becomes. Your routine becomes a tool for building, for reinforcing the mental structure that supports your goals. The beauty of this process is that it's not just about changing the content of your thoughts, but about transforming the very way you think. It's about moving from a mindset of reaction to one of creation. Instead of allowing external circumstances to dictate how you feel and what you think, you take ownership of your mental landscape. You begin to ask empowering questions, seek solutions instead of focusing on problems, and approach challenges as opportunities for growth. As you continue to build this new mental blueprint, it will start to shift not just your thoughts but your entire perception of the world. You'll begin to see possibilities where you once saw obstacles. You'll feel empowered to take action on ideas that once seemed impossible. Your relationships will change because you'll start to attract people who resonate with the mindset you've cultivated. Your environment, too, will start to reflect your internal shift as you align with people, situations, and opportunities that match your elevated mental blueprint. Creating your mental blueprint is an act of profound self-responsibility. You are no longer a passive participant in your own life. You become the conscious creator, designing a life that is aligned with your highest potential. The more attention and energy you invest in shaping this mental structure, the more it becomes a solid foundation upon which you can build your dreams. And as your mind transforms, so too does your world. What was once impossible becomes inevitable, and your life becomes a reflection of the power and possibility you've unlocked within. Chapter 3. Harnessing Focus and Clarity. The world around us is in constant motion, a swirling chaos of information, demands, distractions, and endless stimuli. In the midst of this, it's easy to feel lost, overwhelmed, or unsure of which direction to take. Yet there is a quiet strength within each of us that allows us to cut through the noise, to focus our energy, and to find clarity in the midst of chaos. The key to unlocking your potential lies in harnessing this focus and clarity, not just in moments of peace, but when life is at its most chaotic. Clarity is more than just a state of mental calm. It's the ability to see things as they truly are, without the distortion of unnecessary thoughts, emotions, or external pressures. When you have clarity, you can perceive your true priorities, understand the path forward, and make decisions with purpose. It's not about eliminating all distractions, but about training your mind to focus on what matters most. In a world where we are constantly bombarded with distractions, this kind of clarity is a rare and valuable commodity. The first step in creating mental clarity is learning to quiet the noise, both external and internal. External distractions are easy to identify: the buzzing of your phone, the hum of a busy office, the endless notifications that demand your attention. But the internal distractions, the constant chatter of your own mind, the worries, the fears, the doubts, are far more insidious. These thoughts often pull you in many directions at once, making it difficult to focus on any one thing for an extended period. To create clarity, you must learn to manage these internal distractions and bring your thoughts into a state of alignment with your purpose. One of the most effective ways to regain clarity is to cultivate the art of mindfulness. This practice is not about emptying your mind, but about observing your thoughts without judgment. When you begin to notice the patterns of thought that lead you away from focus, you can gently redirect your attention. Mindfulness allows you to become aware of the fleeting nature of thoughts, so you no longer become attached to them. The more you practice this, the more you begin to see that clarity is not a fixed state but a dynamic process, one that requires continual attention and realignment. In addition to mindfulness, developing a deep sense of purpose is vital to sustaining clarity. When you know why you are doing something, when you are connected to a greater mission or vision, distractions have less power over you. The clearer your purpose, the easier it is to stay focused because the why becomes the anchor that keeps you grounded. Without purpose, your energy gets scattered and your focus becomes diluted. But when you are clear on your intentions, every action becomes a step in the direction of your goal. Focus, much like clarity, is a muscle that must be trained. We live in an age where multitasking is celebrated, but the truth is it's a productivity myth. The more you split your attention, the less effective you become at any single task. True focus is about single tasking, giving your full attention to one thing at a time. When you direct your energy with intent, you perform at a higher level, and what once seemed like an overwhelming challenge becomes manageable. By channeling your energy toward what truly matters, you allow your mind to cut through the noise and work in a state of flow. This state of flow is where true productivity happens. When you are in flow, you aren't thinking about the future or the past. You are fully immersed in the present moment, focused entirely on the task at hand. The energy that you put into the moment becomes a force that propels you forward. Time seems to stretch, and the world around you fades away, leaving you with only the task at hand and the satisfaction of progress. The key to entering flow is not to force it, but to eliminate distractions and bring yourself into the moment with complete attention. Creating mental clarity and harnessing focus also means learning to eliminate mental clutter. This is where many people get stuck. We often hold on to unnecessary thoughts, fears, or obligations that do nothing to serve our goals. These distractions are like mental clutter, unneeded, heavy, and unhelpful. It's important to regularly declutter your mind, much like you would clear out a cluttered room. This can be done through journaling, meditation, or simply taking time to reflect. When you clear out the mental noise, you create space for creativity, insight, and clear thinking. The more you practice this clarity and focus, the more natural it becomes. The world may continue to spin around you, but you will find yourself anchored, steady, and calm. Your actions become deliberate, intentional, and aligned with your highest purpose. Your mental energy is no longer scattered, but channeled into what truly matters, into the tasks, the goals, and the relationships that will take you closer to your vision. This kind of mental mastery is a skill that, once cultivated, becomes your greatest asset in navigating the challenges of life and achieving your deepest aspirations. Chapter 4. Breaking Free from Mental Chains. There are chains we carry that are invisible to the eye but heavy on the soul. These mental chains are formed by the beliefs we adopt, often without questioning them. They are the limitations that live in our thoughts, restricting our potential, keeping us confined within a narrow vision of what's possible. And though they may seem unshakable at first, the truth is they are not as fixed as they seem. These chains are made of habits, beliefs, and patterns of thinking that we have allowed to shape us. But we also have the power to break them. The most insidious part about these mental chains is that they often operate beneath the surface of our awareness. We are conditioned from a young age, shaped by family, society, experiences, and circumstances, to believe certain things about ourselves and the world around us. These beliefs form the limits of what we think we can achieve, and often we live as if we've been assigned a certain life path, never questioning whether those limits are truly ours to accept. Start by acknowledging that these mental chains aren't the truth of who you are. They are simply what you've been taught to believe. Just as a bird doesn't realize the sky is boundless until it dares to leave the cage, many of us don't recognize the vastness of our potential until we challenge the limitations we've internalized. The first step to breaking free is recognizing these chains for what they are: self-imposed barriers. These limits are different for everyone. Some are societal, the expectations that we must conform to certain standards or norms. Others are more personal, shaped by past experiences, failures, or rejections. But they all share a common trait. They are not inherent truths, but rather constructs created by our minds. For instance, someone might believe that they're not smart enough to pursue a particular career, or that they don't deserve success because of past mistakes. These beliefs, no matter how deeply ingrained, are just stories we've told ourselves over time. The stories we tell ourselves shape our reality. Change the story, and the reality changes. The next step is to confront these beliefs head-on. This doesn't mean simply acknowledging that they exist. It means challenging their validity. Ask yourself, what evidence do I have that this belief is true? Most of the time, the evidence is either thin or non-existent. In fact, the very act of questioning these beliefs often reveals their fragility. The moment we begin to see our limitations for what they are, false narratives, we take the first step toward releasing them. It's also important to recognize that breaking free from mental chains doesn't require drastic, sweeping changes. It's about the small, everyday actions that challenge your mental landscape. If you've believed for years that you're not capable of taking on a new challenge, simply saying yes when an opportunity arises is an act of rebellion against that chain. Each decision to move beyond the confines of your past beliefs is a victory, no matter how small it may seem. These small victories compound over time, gradually rewiring your brain to operate from a place of possibility rather than limitation. Breaking free requires a shift in perspective, from viewing yourself as a victim of circumstances to recognizing that you have the power to shape your life. It's easy to blame the past, to give power to things beyond our control. But when we adopt the mindset that our past doesn't define us, that our current circumstances don't dictate our future, we empower ourselves to create a new path. You are not the sum of your past mistakes or disappointments. You are not bound by your upbringing or the expectations of others. You are a creator of your own life story, and the power to change it lies within you. As you work to break free from mental chains, you'll encounter resistance. This is natural. The old ways of thinking have been entrenched for so long that they will fight to stay in place. You might feel discomfort or fear when stepping into unfamiliar territory. That's a sign you are breaking free. The comfort zone, while familiar, is often a prison in disguise. The real growth happens when you step outside of it, when you take that first step into uncertainty, trusting that the life waiting for you on the other side of fear is one that is worth living. Another key to breaking free is letting go of perfectionism. The fear of failure often stems from the belief that we must always succeed, or that every move we make must be flawless. This belief paralyzes progress and keeps us tethered to our comfort zones. In reality, failure isn't a reflection of your worth. It's simply part of the process. Every mistake is an opportunity for growth, a lesson that brings you closer to your goals. When you embrace failure as part of your journey, you free yourself from the mental chains that tell you that you must be perfect, or else you're not enough. But perhaps the most important aspect of breaking free is forgiveness, both of yourself and others. Holding on to grudges or past mistakes is like carrying heavy weights that slow you down. Forgiveness isn't about excusing the wrongs of others, but about releasing their hold over your life. When you forgive, you take back your power. Similarly, forgiving yourself for the choices you regret frees you from the mental prison of self-blame and guilt. Only when you let go of these emotional chains can you begin to move forward with clarity and purpose. True freedom comes when we stop seeking permission from the world or others to live fully and unapologetically. It comes when we acknowledge that the only limits are those we place on ourselves. The walls we perceive around us are often no more than shadows, formed by our own limiting beliefs, and once we see them for what they are, they begin to crumble. Breaking free isn't about achieving perfection or creating a perfect life. It's about recognizing and releasing the chains that bind us to a version of life that is far less than what we're capable of. It's about stepping into your full power, embracing the unknown and realizing that you have the keys to unlock any door that stands before you. Chapter 5. Awakening Emotional Intelligence. Emotions are powerful forces, often guiding our decisions and shaping our experiences, sometimes in ways we may not even realize. But what if you could become the master of these forces instead of letting them control you? What if you could turn your emotions into powerful allies, using them not only to understand yourself better, but to navigate the world around you with greater precision? The key to doing so lies in emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions and the emotions of others. At its core, emotional intelligence is about awareness. It's about tuning in to what's happening beneath the surface of your thoughts and actions, noticing the emotions that arise within you, and asking why they're there. Every emotion, whether positive or negative, holds valuable information about your desires, your boundaries, and your needs. The more attuned you become to these feelings, the clearer your understanding of yourself will be. But being emotionally intelligent isn't just about being aware of your own emotions. It's also about developing the ability to manage them effectively. Emotions, when left unchecked, can easily spiral out of control, leading to reactive behavior, poor decisions, and strained relationships. It's when we don't have a handle on our emotions that they tend to rule us. For example, anger can cloud judgment, making us act impulsively, while fear can paralyze us, keeping us stuck in place. Learning to manage these emotions means not suppressing them, but understanding them and choosing how to respond rather than react. This skill of emotional regulation is one of the most transformative aspects of emotional intelligence. It's not about getting rid of difficult emotions, but rather about creating a space between the feeling and the reaction. Imagine a situation where someone insults you. Your immediate reaction might be anger or frustration. But with emotional intelligence, you have the ability to pause, to notice that anger without being consumed by it. You can then choose how to respond in a way that aligns with your values, your goals, and your peace of mind. It's about seeing emotions for what they are, temporary states that don't have to dictate your behavior or control your narrative. Another vital aspect of emotional intelligence is empathy. Empathy allows you to connect with others on a deeper level. It's not just about understanding another person's emotions, but about feeling them with them. When you understand the emotions of others, you gain insight into their perspective, and this understanding can improve communication, resolve conflicts, and deepen relationships. Empathy is often the bridge that transforms a simple conversation into something meaningful and transformative. When you meet someone where they are emotionally, you create a connection that is both powerful and genuine. But emotional intelligence also goes beyond handling emotions in the moment. It's about cultivating emotional resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity. Life inevitably brings challenges, setbacks, and disappointments. How you respond to these moments determines your emotional strength. Emotional resilience doesn't mean avoiding pain or hardship. It means developing the ability to face them head-on, process them, and move forward stronger. Resilient individuals understand that their emotions, while valid, are not the end of their story. They have learned to weather the storms of life without letting those storms define them. To awaken emotional intelligence, it's important to start with self-awareness. This means becoming an active observer of your inner world. Notice your reactions, your moods, and the triggers that set them off. Ask yourself questions like, what am I really feeling right now? Why am I feeling this way? What does this emotion tell me about what I need or desire? This practice of self-inquiry creates a deeper understanding of your emotional landscape, allowing you to make conscious choices rather than being driven by unconscious impulses. The next step is developing the ability to regulate your emotions. This isn't about avoiding negative feelings. It's about learning how to process them healthily. This might look like taking a deep breath before responding in a tense situation, journaling your feelings to release them, or practicing mindfulness to center yourself when your emotions are running high. Through these practices, you begin to take control of your emotional responses, allowing you to act from a place of clarity and calm. But perhaps the most profound aspect of emotional intelligence is its ability to shape your reality. Emotions are not just reactions to the world around us. They also influence how we experience that world. A person with a high degree of emotional intelligence is able to approach life with a sense of inner peace and balance, no matter the external circumstances. They see setbacks as opportunities for growth, criticism as a chance to learn, and challenges as invitations to improve. By mastering your emotions, you unlock the ability to turn every situation, even the most difficult ones, into a powerful tool for personal transformation. Being emotionally intelligent also means understanding that emotions are contagious. The energy you carry, the way you express yourself, and how you respond to others' emotions all play a role in shaping your relationships. When you're able to stay calm and centered, even in difficult conversations, you help others do the same. Your emotional state can either escalate a situation or diffuse it. And learning how to manage your own emotions allows you to create a harmonious environment, whether at work, in relationships, or within your community. In fact, emotional intelligence is what makes successful relationships, both personal and professional, thrive. It allows you to communicate effectively, resolve conflicts with grace, and build trust. By being aware of your own feelings and understanding the emotions of others, you create deeper, more meaningful connections. These connections are the bedrock of successful collaborations, partnerships, and communities. When emotional intelligence is in play, people feel heard, respected, and valued. Ultimately, awakening emotional intelligence is about becoming the best version of yourself. It's about seeing your emotions as guides, not obstacles. It's about recognizing the power within you to shape your emotional landscape, to rise above challenges with grace, and to connect with others in ways that foster understanding and empathy. When you master the art of emotional intelligence, you transform not only your inner world, but also the way you engage with the world around you, creating a life filled with greater peace, purpose, and connection. Chapter 6. Transforming challenges into growth. Challenges are not just obstacles in our path. They are invitations to grow, evolve, and expand our potential. Life has a way of presenting us with situations that shake our foundations, throw us off course, and test our limits. Yet, within these very challenges lies the seed of transformation, the opportunity to discover new strengths, refine our character, and reframe our understanding of what is possible. The question isn't whether challenges will come, it's how we respond to them when they do. When faced with adversity, it's easy to feel defeated, to view the struggle as a roadblock that hinders progress. But what if, instead of viewing challenges as threats, we saw them as the very experiences that shape us into the person we are meant to become? Every setback is an opportunity for deepening our resilience. Every struggle is a stepping stone toward greater understanding and capacity. In times of difficulty, it's easy to fall into the trap of believing that things should be easier, that life should not demand so much from us. Yet some of the most significant moments of growth occur precisely when life feels the hardest. Think of a seed growing through the soil. It faces resistance from the earth around it, but without that resistance it would never break through to the light. Similarly, challenges are the resistance we need to break through to a higher level of being. The pressure we experience in tough situations is often the force that pushes us to evolve beyond what we thought was possible. At the heart of turning challenges into growth lies a shift in perspective. Instead of seeing obstacles as personal failures or signs that we're not enough, we can choose to see them as opportunities to refine our skills, expand our patience, and deepen our understanding of life. Challenges are like mirrors reflecting back to us our deepest fears, our unspoken desires, and the areas in which we still need to evolve. It's through confronting these mirrors that we learn more about ourselves and our potential. When we embrace the idea that challenges are catalysts for change, we begin to look for the lessons hidden within every struggle. Whether it's learning patience from a delay, gaining strength from a physical or emotional setback, or developing creativity when a project doesn't unfold as expected. The process of growth begins the moment we choose to engage with the struggle rather than avoid it. The discomfort we feel in these moments is often the very thing that forces us to stretch beyond our current limits, both intellectually and emotionally. Furthermore, challenges often highlight our greatest strengths. When life gets tough, we are forced to tap into reserves of determination, grit, and adaptability that we might not even realize we possess. In these moments, we discover an inner wellspring of resources, both mental and emotional, that carry us forward. These attributes, which might have remained dormant in easier times, come to the surface when we need them most. This process is not about merely surviving the challenge, but thriving through it, coming out the other side more capable and wiser. Challenges also present a powerful opportunity for creativity. In the face of adversity, our minds often shift into a more resourceful state. When things are easy, we tend to rely on what we already know. But when we are faced with unexpected difficulties, we are forced to think outside the box. Whether it's finding a new way to solve a problem at work or discovering an innovative approach to personal health, struggle sparks ingenuity. It forces us to reconsider old methods and open ourselves to new possibilities. Moreover, challenges bring clarity. They strip away the distractions and superficialities that often cloud our judgment and allow us to focus on what truly matters. When things go wrong, we are often forced to reevaluate our priorities, reframe our goals, and realign our efforts. What once seemed important may lose its significance, while the things that truly nourish us, our relationships, our health, our passions, come into sharper focus. It is in these moments of crisis that we often experience breakthroughs, not because the external world has changed, but because our perception of it has. The power to transform challenges into growth is also rooted in our ability to accept what is beyond our control. There are many aspects of life that we cannot change, and fighting against them only drains our energy and creates frustration. True growth comes when we accept the ebb and flow of life, embracing both the successes and the failures, the easy moments and the hard ones. Acceptance does not mean resignation. It means surrendering to the flow of life while choosing to remain active participants. It is a mindset shift that allows us to take our challenges in stride, recognizing that every experience, no matter how difficult, contributes to the mosaic of our personal evolution. When you begin to see life through the lens of growth, every setback becomes an opportunity for advancement. You start to welcome challenges, not as enemies, but as powerful agents of change. They become the very conditions under which you thrive. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What can I learn from this?" This simple shift in perspective turns you from a passive victim of circumstance into an active creator of your own destiny. Through this transformation, you begin to understand that nothing is ever truly wasted. Every challenge, every hardship, becomes part of the larger story of your life. They are not detours, but integral parts of the path that lead to greater wisdom, deeper compassion, and a more profound sense of self. The more you engage with these challenges, the more you develop the mental and emotional agility necessary to handle whatever life throws your way. You realize that growth doesn't happen in the absence of difficulty. It happens because of it. The truth is, the person you are becoming is forged in the fire of life's challenges. And when you understand this, you begin to embrace each moment, no matter how difficult, as an opportunity to rise to the occasion and become more of the person you were always meant to be. Chapter 7. Rewiring your thought patterns. Our thoughts are powerful architects of our lives. Every experience, every choice, and every action we take is influenced by the way we think. Yet, many of the beliefs and thought patterns we hold are not consciously chosen but are the result of years of conditioning. Some of it inherited, some learned through experience, and much of it shaped by external influences. These ingrained patterns often dictate the trajectory of our lives, shaping how we respond to challenges, perceive opportunities, and define success. But what if we could change the wiring? What if we could reprogram the very beliefs that guide our behavior, creating new mental pathways that propel us toward higher achievements? Rewiring thought patterns is not about simply thinking positive thoughts or repeating affirmations until they stick. It's about understanding that your current mental state is the result of past conditioning, and that this conditioning can be altered through deliberate, consistent effort. The first step in this process is awareness. You must become aware of the thoughts that guide your daily life. These thoughts are not always conscious, yet they shape everything you do. Some are automatic, ingrained over years of repetition. Others stem from deep-seated beliefs about who you are, what you deserve, and what is possible for you. Before you can begin changing these patterns, you must first observe them without judgment. You must learn to recognize when these limiting thoughts arise and understand the emotional triggers that activate them. Once awareness is established, the next step is challenge. Limiting beliefs often go unchallenged simply because we accept them as truths. For example, if you've spent years believing that you are not good enough to succeed, or that failure is something to be avoided at all costs, these beliefs have taken root in your subconscious mind. But they are not the ultimate truth. They are merely patterns that have been reinforced over time. To shift them, you must begin asking yourself, is this belief serving me? Is it helping me reach my goals? Is it even true? It is not always easy to question these long-held beliefs, as they are often tied to our sense of self and our identity. However, the moment you challenge them, you break their power over you. The next step in rewiring your thoughts is replacing the old patterns with new ones. This involves creating new, empowering beliefs that support your growth and aspirations. But how do you form these new thought patterns? The key is repetition. Just as old beliefs were ingrained over time, new beliefs can be established in the same way. Start by focusing on the areas of your life where you want to see change. What thoughts would support the version of yourself that you wish to become? Perhaps it's the belief that success is not a matter of luck, but the result of consistent effort. Or maybe it's the understanding that challenges are not setbacks, but stepping stones toward greater success. Write these new beliefs down, repeat them to yourself daily, and integrate them into your decision-making process. Visualization plays a crucial role in this process. Our minds are not able to distinguish between vividly imagined experiences and actual experiences. When you visualize yourself succeeding, overcoming obstacles, or achieving a goal, you are not only seeing yourself in that reality, but also reprogramming your subconscious mind to align with that vision. The more vividly and emotionally you engage with your visualizations, the more deeply they will be ingrained in your psyche. This repeated mental rehearsal creates new neural connections that support the beliefs and behaviors you want to adopt. Along with visualization, affirmations are another powerful tool for rewiring thought patterns. However, they must be approached with a deeper understanding. Simply repeating affirmations like, "I am successful," or "I am confident," can feel empty if they are not rooted in genuine belief. It's important to infuse your affirmations with emotion and conviction. When you affirm something, you are not merely speaking words. You are aligning your thoughts with a deep sense of truth and possibility. The more you say it with passion, the more you convince yourself that it is your reality. Over time, these affirmations start to influence your subconscious, gradually shifting your thought patterns toward success. Another important aspect of rewiring your thoughts is cultivating an environment that supports the new beliefs you are trying to adopt. The people you surround yourself with, the media you consume, and even the physical space you inhabit can all influence your mental patterns. If you are trying to rewire your thoughts to believe in your potential, but you are constantly surrounded by negativity, doubt, or criticism, it will be much harder to change your thought patterns. You must create a supportive environment that aligns with the mindset you are working to cultivate. This may involve distancing yourself from negative influences or actively seeking out positive, like-minded individuals who uplift and encourage you. Rewiring thought patterns is not an overnight process. It requires patience, persistence, and dedication. Your mind has been conditioned over years, and shifting these ingrained patterns takes time. It's important to be kind to yourself during this process. There will be moments when you fall back into old ways of thinking. But this is not a sign of failure. It's a sign that you are human and you are learning. Each time you catch yourself slipping into old thought patterns, you have the opportunity to reset and choose differently. With every choice, with every new thought, you are rewiring your brain and moving closer to the person you want to become. The real beauty of rewiring your thought patterns lies in the freedom it creates. As you replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones, you begin to unlock your full potential. You stop seeing the world as a place where limitations define you, and start seeing it as a place of boundless opportunity. The beliefs that once held you back no longer have the power to control you. You no longer see failure as something to fear, but as a necessary step on the path to success. You begin to understand that your thoughts shape your reality, and that by changing the way you think, you can change the course of your life. Chapter 8. Creating the life you envision. Life is not simply a series of random events. It is a canvas waiting for you to paint your reality. You are not just a passive observer of your own existence, but the creator of it. The ability to shape your life lies within you, through your thoughts, actions, and the energy you bring into every moment. But this process of creation is not about waiting for the right circumstances to appear, nor is it about relying solely on external forces. It's about aligning your internal world, your beliefs, emotions, and intentions with the reality you desire to experience. When these elements are in harmony, the life you envision starts to unfold before you. The first key to creating the life you envision is realizing that your thoughts are not just fleeting ideas. They are powerful forces that shape your reality. The way you think about yourself, the world, and your possibilities dictates the opportunities that will present themselves to you. Your mind constantly sends out signals, attracting situations, people, and experiences that match your inner belief system. If you see the world as a place filled with limitations, then your reality will reflect that. On the other hand, if you envision abundance, opportunity, and success, the world around you will begin to shift in alignment with those thoughts. To create the life you envision, you must first cultivate the clarity to define what that life looks like. Often we spend more time thinking about what we don't want than about what we do want. We dwell on fears, uncertainties, and the limitations we believe we have. But true creation comes from a place of clear vision and focus. What is it that you truly desire? What does success look like for you? What would bring you joy, fulfillment, and peace? When you can clearly define these desires in your mind, you set the stage for them to manifest in your life. The clearer the picture you hold, the more easily you will recognize the opportunities that align with that vision when they arise. Once clarity is established, the next step is aligning your actions with your intentions. It's not enough to simply think about the life you want. you must also take steps toward it. This doesn't mean forcing outcomes or acting out of desperation, but rather taking inspired actions that align with your desires. When your thoughts and actions are in sync, you create a flow of energy that propels you forward. It's about showing up for yourself, even when the path seems uncertain. You may not have every answer right away, but you take one step at a time, knowing that every action, no matter how small, brings you closer to your vision. Alignment doesn't just stop with thoughts and actions. It also involves your emotional state. Emotions are the energetic fuel behind your actions. If your thoughts are positive but your emotions are filled with doubt, fear, or negativity, you create an internal imbalance that can slow or even block your progress. You must cultivate a state of emotional alignment where your feelings match the energy of your desires. This means tuning into emotions of gratitude, excitement, and joy. Emotions that vibrate at a higher frequency and are more likely to attract the circumstances you desire. It's about feeling as if your desires have already manifested, even before they have shown up in the physical world. Intentions are the invisible force that ties everything together. They are the driving force behind your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Intentions are not just wishes or desires. They are powerful commitments to the life you want to create. When you set an intention, you are not merely hoping for a better future. You are declaring, with clarity and purpose, that you are ready to create that future. Intentions help you stay focused, even when obstacles arise. They serve as a guiding compass directing your energy toward the outcomes you seek, regardless of distractions or challenges that might appear along the way. But alignment doesn't always come easily. There will be moments of doubt, uncertainty, and frustration. The key in those moments is to remain steadfast in your belief that the life you envision is already on its way to you. When challenges arise, they are not signs that you should abandon your vision. Rather, they are opportunities to refine your process and strengthen your resolve. Every setback carries within it the potential for growth and learning. Instead of seeing challenges as barriers, view them as stepping stones to greater clarity and deeper alignment with your purpose. In the process of creating your desired life, it's important to let go of the need for control. Too often, we attach to specific outcomes or time frames, which can create resistance in our energy field. When you let go of rigid expectations and trust in the process, you open yourself up to receive in ways you may never have imagined. Manifestation is not about controlling every detail, but rather allowing the universe to guide you in ways that serve your highest good. Sometimes the path may not unfold in the way you envisioned, but that does not mean it isn't unfolding exactly as it should. One of the most powerful tools in this process is gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance. It allows you to see what you already have, rather than what you don't. The more you focus on what you are thankful for, the more you attract to be thankful for. Gratitude creates an energetic flow that opens you up to receiving the very things you've been asking for. It's a reminder that you are already worthy of all that you desire, and that the universe is conspiring in your favor. As you align your thoughts, emotions, actions, and intentions, remember that the power to create your life lies within you. You are not merely reacting to the circumstances of life. You are actively shaping them. Every moment is an opportunity to step into the person you are becoming, to take action toward your desires, and to align with the energy of possibility. By consistently bringing your thoughts, actions, and emotions into alignment, you begin to see the world around you shift, reflecting the life you have chosen to create. Chapter 9. The Influence of Consistency. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that transformation requires monumental actions or radical change. People often believe that in order to truly evolve, there must be a dramatic event or a grand shift. Yet, the most profound changes happen through the simplest and most consistent acts. It's not the large leaps we take, but the small steps, repeated over time, that have the power to shape a new reality. Consistency is the quiet force that moves us forward, one small effort at a time. It is the compound effect of daily habits, thoughts, and actions that slowly build a life of transformation. Consistency in your actions is not about pushing yourself beyond your limits every day, but rather about showing up in the smallest ways day in and day out with a clear intention. The path to greatness is often more about persistence than about intensity. By making small, positive changes a routine part of your day, you begin to rewire your mind, recalibrate your beliefs, and shift your approach to life. The beauty of consistency lies in its simplicity and its ability to produce long-term results that seem effortless. What seems like a small act today can snowball into monumental change over time. The power of consistency also lies in its ability to build momentum. In the early stages of any journey, it might feel like little is changing. You might question whether your efforts are making any impact at all, but this is where the magic happens. Each small action adds to a foundation that gradually builds strength. Like a snowball rolling down a hill, it starts small but gathers mass and speed as it moves forward. The more consistently you show up for your goals, the more natural it becomes, and the less effort is required to keep that momentum going. Over time, consistency becomes a part of who you are, and it becomes harder to stop than to continue. Consistency also nurtures resilience. When you commit to showing up each day, even on the days when motivation seems to be nowhere in sight, you strengthen your mental fortitude. It's easy to work when you feel inspired, but true power is demonstrated when you choose to act even when the inspiration isn't obvious. In these moments, consistency becomes your anchor. It is the promise you make to yourself, the practice of showing up for your future, even when the present doesn't seem to reflect the vision you hold. Through this, you learn that success isn't about perfection, but about commitment. The cumulative impact of consistent effort is not limited to external results. It transforms your internal landscape as well. As you engage in regular practice, you cultivate a mindset of self-discipline, focus, and commitment. You begin to understand that change is not a matter of waiting for the right moment, but of creating that moment through everyday actions. Each small effort you make reinforces the belief that you are capable, that you have control over your choices, and that you are aligned with the growth you seek. Your actions slowly become an embodiment of the mindset you wish to adopt. Consistency is also an antidote to self-doubt. When we first begin a new endeavor, the fear of failure often holds us back. We worry that we won't be able to sustain our efforts or that we'll fall short of our expectations. Yet, it's precisely the small, consistent actions that shield us from these fears. Each time you take an action, no matter how small, it is proof to yourself that you can do this. Over time, as you continue to build this track record of commitment, your doubts begin to fade. The act of showing up day after day builds your confidence, not because of any single accomplishment, but because you have proven to yourself that you can trust your own process. The fear that once seemed so overwhelming becomes irrelevant when you know you are in the habit of progressing. Consistency also nurtures trust, not just in the process, but in yourself. When you consistently take action, your subconscious mind begins to internalize the belief that you are reliable and capable. This self-trust becomes the foundation upon which you build your self-worth. It's no longer about waiting for validation from others. It's about being able to look at your own efforts and acknowledge the growth you are creating. Trust in the process is essential for overcoming the doubt that often derails us. It's about believing in the power of your choices day after day and understanding that those choices, when compounded, lead to massive change. In the pursuit of transformation, many get caught up in the pursuit of perfection. The idea that every action needs to be flawless can paralyze progress. But true consistency is not about being perfect, it's about being persistent. Even on the days when your efforts feel less than ideal, when your actions are smaller than planned, they still count. It's the act of showing up again and again that counts, not the level of perfection in each individual action. Through consistency, you learn that there is no such thing as failure, only feedback and growth. Consistency also brings a quiet sense of control. In a world where so much feels unpredictable and chaotic, the act of showing up consistently gives you a sense of agency. No matter what is happening around you, you can always choose to continue your journey, to take one small step in the direction you want to go. This sense of control, of being the one who decides to keep going, is incredibly empowering. It shifts you from being a passive participant in your life to becoming the active creator of your reality. Lastly, consistency fosters patience. Transformation doesn't happen overnight, and learning to embrace this fact is an essential part of personal growth. The key to consistency is the understanding that change unfolds in layers. It doesn't happen all at once, but in subtle, often invisible shifts that accumulate over time. It's about trusting the process, even when you don't see immediate results. When you remain consistent, you allow yourself the time to grow at your own pace, free from the pressure of immediate success. Through this, you learn to appreciate the journey, rather than only focusing on the destination. Through the quiet power of consistency, you create a life that reflects the transformation you've been working towards. It's not about one big moment. It's about the series of small, daily actions that lead to a new mindset, new habits, and a new life. You are the architect of your future, and consistency is the tool that builds the foundation for your success. Chapter 10. Living with Purpose and Passion. Living with purpose and passion is not something that happens by chance. It's a choice that we must actively make every single day. Too often we fall into the routine of living on autopilot, letting the demands of the world dictate our actions. We allow external circumstances to steer us, rarely stopping to ask ourselves, what do I truly want from life? But when we start to live with purpose, we are no longer driven by what others expect from us or by the noise around us. Instead, we move from a place of deep clarity, guided by our own inner compass, toward the things that light us up from the inside out. Purpose is not something we find in a moment of inspiration or in grand declarations. It's woven into the fabric of our daily actions. It's revealed in the smallest choices, the subtle shifts in how we approach our lives. When you live with purpose, each action you take is aligned with a larger vision, whether it's the work you do, the relationships you nurture, or the way you interact with the world. There's a sense of direction in everything you do, as though every small step is a piece of a puzzle that is slowly revealing the bigger picture of your life. You no longer feel adrift, trying to piece together an existence based on fleeting moments of enjoyment, but you instead live in a way that feels deeply meaningful, with each day contributing to something much larger than yourself. Living with passion, on the other hand, is the energy that fuels your journey. Passion is the force that drives you forward when the path feels unclear, the fire that keeps you going when things seem difficult or uncertain. It's the enthusiasm you feel when you wake up in the morning and the eagerness to take on the challenges ahead. When you infuse passion into your work, your relationships, and even your personal growth, you radiate an energy that is contagious. People notice the vibrancy in your presence and the confidence that comes from knowing you're living in alignment with something greater than yourself. Purpose and passion aren't separate entities. They are deeply connected, and one fuels the other. Passion without purpose can easily burn out. It becomes a fleeting burst of energy that doesn't lead anywhere sustainable. But when passion is tied to purpose, it becomes a powerful driving force that propels you forward with unwavering determination. Purpose provides the direction. Passion provides the momentum. Together, they create a harmonious flow that allows you to live fully and authentically. Finding your true calling is not about waiting for some miraculous moment of clarity. It's about tuning into the quiet whisper of your soul, the things that resonate with you on a deep personal level. It's the activities that make you lose track of time, the ideas that stir excitement in your heart, and the moments when you feel connected to something larger than yourself. Your true calling may not be immediately obvious, but it's always there, waiting for you to listen closely. It's found not in the grand gestures, but in the everyday moments of joy, fulfillment, and growth. It might show up in the things you naturally gravitate toward or the way you effortlessly connect with certain people or causes. When we start to live with purpose and passion, we begin to ask ourselves bigger questions. What kind of impact do I want to have? How do I want to show up in the world? What legacy do I want to leave behind? These questions are not about seeking external validation or approval. They are about aligning with our deepest values, desires, and strengths. Living with purpose and passion doesn't always mean pursuing a dramatic, world-changing mission. Sometimes it's about creating a life that aligns with your core beliefs, where each action you take reflects who you are and what you stand for. But discovering your purpose isn't always a linear journey. It often involves exploring different paths, making mistakes, and learning along the way. There are moments of uncertainty, times when you might question whether you're on the right track, but that's all part of the process. It's in the trial and error that we refine our purpose, as we learn what feels right and what doesn't. Every experience, even the ones that don't go according to plan, contributes to a greater understanding of who we are and what we want from life. To live with purpose and passion requires us to break free from the stories we've been told about what success looks like. It's about defining success on your own terms, based on what brings you fulfillment, joy, and a sense of contribution. For some, success might mean building a career or business. For others, it might mean cultivating loving relationships, traveling the world, or creating art. The key is that success comes when we are living true to ourselves, when we are not merely responding to the expectations of others, but actively creating a life that reflects our own deepest desires and values. Passion can be a quiet force or a loud one, but it is always present when we are in tune with our true calling. It's in the way we talk about the things that excite us, the energy we bring to our work, and the way we find joy even in the smallest moments. Passion doesn't require us to be perfect or to have everything figured out. It simply requires us to stay connected to what feels meaningful to us. When we nurture our passions, they expand and multiply, filling our lives with vibrancy and purpose. Living with purpose and passion also requires us to embrace vulnerability. It's about being willing to put ourselves out there, to take risks, and to trust that we are on the right path, even when the outcome is uncertain. It's in these moments of vulnerability that we allow ourselves to grow, to evolve, and to experience the fullness of life. When we allow our passions to drive us, we become fearless in the pursuit of what we truly want, knowing that the journey itself is just as valuable as the destination. The more we align ourselves with purpose and passion, the more we experience the magic of flow, a state where time disappears and we feel fully engaged in the moment. This is where creativity thrives, where ideas come effortlessly, and where we feel truly alive. When you are living with purpose, it's no longer about forcing things to happen. Instead, it's about moving in harmony with life, allowing things to unfold naturally, yet with intention. Living a life infused with meaning and drive isn't about chasing external accolades or chasing perfection. It's about aligning every part of your being with what matters most to you. It's about living a life where your actions, words, and intentions are a reflection of your deepest desires. When you find this alignment, everything else begins to fall into place, and you move through life with a sense of fulfillment that comes from knowing you are living authentically. Conclusion. You've taken the steps, you've made the choices. Now the question is, what will you do with the power that lies within you? The transformation isn't a distant destination. It's a living, breathing journey that starts with the smallest of decisions. With each shift in perspective, each conscious choice, you carve out a new path for yourself. No longer bound by the limiting beliefs or patterns of the past, you are free to create, to evolve, and to become the person you were always meant to be. The real magic happens when you recognize that you are the catalyst for your own change. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment or the right opportunity. The time to act is now. Every moment is an opportunity to realign, to recalibrate, and to direct your energy towards what matters most. Your thoughts, your actions, and your emotions, all are tools that can be harnessed to propel you forward, if you choose to take the reins. And as you continue on this journey, remember, transformation isn't always instantaneous. It's a process. Some days will feel like giant leaps forward, others like small steps, but every step matters. Every effort compounds, and every choice contributes to the person you are becoming. Your growth will unfold in ways you can't always predict, but trust that each moment of discomfort or challenge is merely the universe inviting you to evolve. This is your life. You have the power to shape it into something extraordinary. You've already begun, and as you move forward with intention, clarity, and purpose, the path you walk will be one of your own making. A life infused with meaning, drive, and the kind of freedom that only comes when you truly understand the depth of your own potential. Your journey is just beginning. Keep going.